In the previous episode, we gave a snapshot on the Kenya's landscape and the realities that define our rich ecosystems, the natural assets we have, and why we must uniquely protect our key ecosystems in Kenya. In this chapter, we dig deeper on peoples and practices, understanding the lives in the country, the population, and what livelihood alternatives Kenyans are engaging in. How youthful is our population? You might ask. Kenya is a population of about 47.6 million people, and over 50% of this population is actually youthful. What does that mean for us? With the youth bulge, there's a big economic opportunity for us to undertake sustainable development, innovations, and creativities in a way that will support lives and livelihoods and actually boost our economic activities in the country. So with this population, what does it mean for the livelihoods? Kenya does have a myriad of opportunities in farming. Most of agriculture is basically domestic and traditional, with the greater population of these people in the country being in rural areas and about 32% of the remaining population in urban centers. So how do we feed these people? Agriculture becomes a key livelihood opportunity for this country to feed its people. But still on lives and livelihoods, we have serious cases of malnutrition, serious cases of food starvation. So if as a water scarce and a food insecure country, we cannot take advantage of the innovations, creativity, and empowerment of young people to innovate and implement agricultural practices to feed our people, then we are at a peril to loss and health complications. We have opportunities around fisheries which support quite a big chunk of Kenya's economy. About 1 million tons of fishing is conducted around the Lake Victoria Basin ecosystem, and that's a big boost to Kenya's production and livelihoods for the people. We have tourism that is supporting more people in this country. Pastoralism. In the arid and semi-arid areas, many people have this as a source of livelihood to support their communities and help give us beef that then supports our nutrition at a national level. Jambo, jambo wana, habari gani, mzuri sana. Kenya has a rich cultural diversity. Over 42 tribes make the unique country that we have. We have the Mijikenda, the Pokomos, people from the coastal parts of the country who are uniquely known for the kayas, and they have used this system to curate and protect their natural assets, their forest. We have the Kamba, people on the eastern parts of the country who have for the longest time engaged in trade and a lot of indigenous crop production in the country. We have the Kalenjin, the key protectors of most of the highland forests in this country. People who are known for the rich milk production and processing in natural traditional ways. We have the Maasai, uniquely known for their pastoral practices, of course the high jumping and very nice beef that come from their cattle and livestock. We do have people and the communities in northern Kenya, Marsabit, Mandera, Moyale, name them. These are people whose resilience, the Rendiles who are creating very strong folklore songs, and practices that have governed and protected the interests of what the semi-arid ecosystems are providing to them. We do have the Luo. People practice serious fisheries and very much traditionally bound around also their food production practices and the cultural folklore around how the community came to be. And of course, we have the Kikuyus from the highland regions of the country, who are very rich on traditional food production and governing songs that protect their interests, their heritage, and very unique attires that define the country that a Kikuyu is. Traditionally, Kenya has enjoyed the rich culture and food production systems that these over 44 tribes have practiced since time immemorial. We have communities like Kikuyu who have, for instance, the Muratina, traditional beverage or alcoholic substance that is used to usher in key community ceremonies like weddings or pre-weddings. We have the mokimo that defines some of the indigenous food that is a product of most of the indigenous vegetables and cereals that this community produces. We have medicinal plants in this country, the Mahamia lutea, the East African green heart. A lot of these have medicinal properties that actually work to heal people from otherwise detrimental and death sentencing illnesses. A lot of this indigenous knowledge has been passed down the memory lane from generations to generations by virtues of storytelling, folklore, and sharing with the family under the fire. These practices are important to help us fight against malnutrition, to fight against some of the killer diseases, and really support the rich culture that these communities have been practicing. So yes, we need to embrace our food system that is local, traditionally, chemical-free, as opposed to contemporary and newly introduced practices into this country. We have big plantations in this country and large, intensive, chemically fed agriculture that is killing many people. Nowadays, there is a lot of rise of skin cancer, colon cancer, and many other lifestyle diseases. You ask yourself why? It's because of the kind of food that we are feeding our population. Most processed foods and foods grown under intensive chemical fertilizers are killing us. And what many people don't know is biomagnification and bioaccumulation is what results in these lifestyle diseases. So yes, while we modernize, we need to go back to the basics. We need to consult from the traditional indigenous knowledge that have governed these communities on the food production and protection of nature since time immemorial. We need to learn, how did they produce foods? How did they revitalize their soils? How did they locally grow foods? How did they even take care of the livestock that they had in a way that will give them more nutrition and protect them from illnesses? How did they treat their children when they were sick? How did they even help women to give birth when they had complications? How did they help to treat some of the chronic diseases using nature as a natural remedy and the trees that are medicinal in their nature? To me, that is the big challenge that we must address and appreciate the role of our rich tradition and the culture that's provided us with a lot of the solutions in this beautiful country of ours, with the 42 tribes that define us, each with its own unique traditional indigenous practices.